All right, so I put my current circumstances at work into Chat GPT and I generated three paragraphs with it. I mean, it generated the three paragraphs. I just gave it an outline about my current job situation, and this is what it wrote. I think a lot of you are going to be able to relate to this because I hear you in the comments every day. We're all suffering, we're all broke, we all want better jobs. But you open up Indeed and there's nothing but crap. I mean, just opening the page on Indeed feels like you get like a strong whiff of feet and feces and Susie Rottencrotch. Hell, someone even left the comment that Susie Rottencrotch out there isn't doing too hot these days, that she's looking down and out. And frankly, I believe you. Susie Rottencrotch is experiencing a time in her life where there aren't enough Johnny Six Packs out there to do the bump and dump, and so Susie's feeling left out. She's not getting the resources she needs, she's not getting the vitamins she needs, and she, as a lower tier woman, and remember, Susie Rottencrotch starts at a 5 and then goes down all the way to a 1. There can be Susies above a 5, but typically she's going to be a very average looking woman. But average right now in this job economy isn't cutting it, and Susie is suffering. So, with that said, let's get into today's 10-minute video. Remember, morning videos are 10-minute videos. So, here we go. Man, I know exactly what you're saying. Feels like every time I think I found something better, it's just the same old crap. They dangle a few extra dollars in front of you, but the way they treat you, it's like you're not even human, just a cog in the machine they can replace whenever they feel like it. I get so tired of waking up, dragging myself to a job that doesn't care about me, but what else am I supposed to do? I can't afford to just quit, but staying here is draining every bit of energy I've got left. This is exactly how I feel about my current job. It is exhausting, the workload is impossible, and yet I have the upper tiers of management breathing down my neck asking why I'm not doing more. And yesterday I had to drag all the management out. I had to call out all the management at my current job because they're expecting things that are unrealistic and they're forcing me into these things. And we have a new management, and when you get new management, that means that they want to see why everything isn't working correctly. And the amount of people that have been dumped in the past few weeks is impressive, even for a person that has seen skyrocketing turnover. Yesterday, I had to get on a phone call and talk to someone about why. And I just like, I don't know why that is, but that's just the way it is. And it's not the fault of the current employees, it's the fault of years of neglect that things are like this. And I myself, I just get more and more tired from this job, and it's just not possible. There aren't very many good jobs in our society. In fact, I would say that the 99% of jobs suck, including my current job and every job I've ever had before this. I can't honestly say there was a job in my past or even in my future that I want to do. We all go to work because we absolutely need money. If we lived in that moneyless society that I was talking about yesterday, there would be no one at work. I mean, think of this. Think of how many millions of people stayed home during the pandemic and got to enjoy being home with nothing to do for the first time in your entire life, where you had enough money coming in. We had that universal basic income from the federal unemployment, and it was a lifeline for many of us. It was 2 to 3 times more per week than we'd seen in our entire lives. Like, I was making $300 a week working at Walmart prior to the pandemic. $300 a week. And that was for 31 hours. And I was just like, how am I supposed to live on $300 a week? And guess what? Retail don't care. Management don't care. The executives don't care. They're like, if you can't afford to work here, then you should find something else. And that was actually the video that I was going to make this morning. Last night, when I was thinking of video ideas, it's like, well, I can't afford to work here, but I also can't afford not to work here. So it's a catch 22. It's like this job sucks, but it's the best job that I can find, the highest paying job, and the only thing that it's doing is crushing my soul every single day. I don't get along with any management whatsoever in this job anymore. Like everyone right now is getting grilled. Every person that I've talked to within my own group feels the same way that I do. Like we're all getting toasted, and there are people who are very loud about it. Like I was very adamant. I was yelling yesterday at work because I reached my breaking point with this job, and they're just like, "Calm down, millennial steam. You're gonna blow a gasket." And I was just like, this has been ongoing like this for so long, and a lot of the people that needed to hear the things I needed to say didn't know anything. They were so out of touch with the regular person that everything I said to them was like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And I'm like, for all the things you don't know about what's going on within your own area, it seems like you're completely separate. And that's what I've said about the people at the top forever. They don't know how much the people at the bottom are suffering, and frankly, they don't care. They're not people that are being affected by high rent prices. They're not people that are being affected by crappy benefits. They're not people who can't afford to take vacations. These are people like the guy at the top who was grilling me the hardest yesterday just spent 3 weeks in Eastern Europe, and he just came back to work. Like, okay, you know when the last time I had a 3 week vacation was? Never. You know when the last time I had a 1 week vacation? Never. You know what I do on my days off? I sit in this chair and I twiddle my thumbs thinking about how am I going to get by to my next paycheck. Which I better get to my second paragraph before I run out of time. And the job market, it's like a desert out there. All I see are low paying gigs that suck the life out of you even more, or jobs that demand everything but offer nothing in return. It's like no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to find a way out. I've been stuck in this cycle for so long that sometimes it feels like there's no escape. Where's the escape button? Where's the easy button for the proletariat? Where's life on recruit mode for the average, short, ugly, dark person that can't catch a break? Like, if you're a beautiful woman, you just put yourself on, I don't know, some sort of feet site, or you put yourself on a fan site, you put yourself out there on Twitch, people are just going to hand you money. But proletariat men, below average earning men, below average looking men, below average earning men, we make up the majority. We're the 99%, and there's no escape. I've been looking for the escape hatch my entire life, and the only thing that continually happens is my hatch keeps getting fleeced. So when you think about that, and you think about going to work, and you think about how hopeless it is, and how looking for work is almost as hopeless as going to work, you start developing a really bad attitude. And that's what I've been told at my current job. You have a really bad attitude towards work. Of course, I have a bad attitude. I'm angry, I'm broke, and I haven't been with Susie Rottencrotch now for a long time. Besides that, you guys really keyed in on that moment yesterday where I said, no slave girls being thrown into my cage. Of course not. No Susie Rottencrotch is getting thrown in my cage. And like you guys said in the comments, the only person that comes to visit me in my wage cage is Fleece. And I told him to get out. But you know what Fleece says? It's going to be the hard way, Millennial Steam. And I'm like, no, Fleece, no, don't, no, ah! That's how it goes down every morning. And then I just reach back and see if it's still there. All right, final paragraph before I hit 10 minutes. It's frustrating because I want more, I deserve more, but things are But the way things are going, I don't know if it'll ever happen. Sometimes I just wish I could take the risk and walk away. But what if I end up worse off? This is my constant fear, folks. What if I end up worse off? What if I end up losing my job, move into my car, and then I have my car repossessed and I'm walking around on the street thinking, you know what? It wasn't that bad. That's what we all tell ourselves once we end up on the street. You know what? It wasn't that bad. This is worse. Walking the streets at night with nowhere to go is one of the most horrible feelings you will ever have in your life. And I've been there many times walking around at 2 o'clock in the morning because you're afraid to go to sleep because you don't know what's going to happen to you out there. And there's more and more. The growing population of homeless people is a disaster. Again, I've said it 100 times. The homeless problem in America is a natural disaster that's invisible to the top. They don't care. No hurricane, no blizzard, no flooding, no nothing. It's just a natural disaster of people failing at life, and no one seems to care because it's a problem of poor people. When it comes to poor people, their problems are their own problems. You own it. The social safety net doesn't exist. I assure you, there's the hole in the social safety net is so big that 100,000 homeless people can pass through it and not even touch the sides of that net. I feel like being trapped in a place that's too bad to stay, but too dangerous to leave. Think about that. This is ChatGPT saying it's too dangerous to leave your job. Feels like I'm holding on, but to what? What happens when I can't anymore? That's exactly where I'm at. I am tattered. I am beaten. I am demoralized. But what am I supposed to do? There's not a better job out there. What are we supposed to do as the proletariat if there's just crap jobs? We're just supposed to let go and fall into the abyss and just give up? Because that's where I'm at right now.